Recording in progress.
Welcome to EIP Editing Office Hour meeting number 61. This is issue number 1542 on Ethereum/PM GitHub repository. On agenda, we have very few PRs for review today. Thanks to Gajendra Singh, who has already reviewed some of the open PRs right before this meeting. But whatever we have got contains a few in final, 3 for draft, and a few in miscellaneous section. Gajendra, if you would like to maybe share your screen and start reviewing the proposals.
Yep, sounds good, Pooja. Thank you.
I hope there is no problem in screen sharing. Otherwise, I can perhaps make you co-host if that helps.
Yep, sorry about that. My Zoom crashed while screen sharing, so I'll try this time.
Sure. I hope it is working. Can't say for sure, like if Gajendra is still online or some issue with Zoom again. Oh, yeah, see him joining again. Sometimes it is fun with Zoom.
Yep, it crashed again, so just try for a desktop share.
I mean, if it is trouble sharing from your end, I'm open to share my screen, but you may have to walk us through which proposal we are reviewing, although we may not be able to follow your exact process there. Yep, we can see your screen now.
Yep, finally, we have the share.
Right. Okay, let me quickly share the link to the agenda in chat for your quick reference. 542.
So should I go on?
Yes, please go ahead with the final proposals first, maybe.
Yeah, so ERC, I think Sam will look at it. This 7600 EIP, this is regarding the Meta EIP for Pectra, and I'm not sure whether it's ready to be merged because there were still some open EIPs.
That's correct. Yes. And I also have some conversation. If it is okay, we can perhaps have it discussed on tomorrow's EIP IP meeting. It seems like, um, I feel like informational EIP is fine to be a part of the maybe spec there in the description section of the proposal, but I am yet not comfortable having it in the required section. I have given my entire argument why I don't feel it to be a part of required, because informational by definition is an optional, and by required we are kind of contradicting it. I don't know what other people think here. If you are open, we can perhaps bring it in the next meeting or also collect some thoughts from here.
I think that's interesting, Pooja. At first blush, what you're advocating for makes a lot of sense, but on the other hand, there are, for instance, I'm working on an EIP right now to specify the Genesis format for a Genesis file. And that should really be informational because it's not consensus breaking. But on the other hand, there's additional EIPs that are being developed that should refer back to it. So
I think for consensus, we are specifically having core EIPs, which are like consensus dependent and everybody has to implement that. But the fundamental difference in my mind about informational and meta EIP is something that is defined, and it is optional when it is in form of informational, and it is mandatory. People can't excuse that when it is in meta EIP.
so you can't require something that's optional, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Is there okay. Let me chew on that for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can perhaps bring it in the next meeting tomorrow, which is EIP meeting, in which we will have more editors on call, so we can collect more thoughts from different people.
Yep, I think tomorrow we can discuss about this and see what is the way forward.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, moving to draft EIPs. So author himself has created this update. So I'm not sure why it requires any of our approval. Maybe because of the change in discussions tooling, which I don't think that should be it.
Do you think it requires a force merge? Like, should we add it in that list?
It shouldn't require force merge. Let's see. Yep, it seems like ETHBot is sort of stuck. So maybe I'll just close it and open it again to give the bot a kick.
Sounds good. Yeah, it works sometimes.
So I already reviewed the CIP and left some comments which are technical in nature. So as well as some other people have left comments on this PR 9792 regarding sorted key value store. So when those will be addressed or there will be a response on them, then we can probably move forward.
I think we have Kev On the call, Kev, I wonder if you would like to add anything for this particular peer. Sorry, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm so sorry for that.
Hello, hello. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so I have answered some of those comments. I was waiting for an EIP number so that I can update my pull request.
Yeah, so EIP number, I mean, if it's a valid EIP, then we'll assign an EIP number. But seems like I don't understand this what this EIP intends for us to change in the protocol because again, mappings is a solidity concept, and so again we are going into technical discussions. But the point is that slots in the storage, they are already sorted in some manner that they are
Yes, so the point
30
is,
bucks, right? So yeah.
yeah, I mean, yes, in the database they are sorted, but do we have access to these sorted data in the EVM itself? I mean, can we iterate through them? The EIP suggests that having access to like
So if you have some key, you can always do key plus one and access that location. So it's already iterable in that sense. I don't
yeah,
understand
I
what you
mean,
mean. You can't iterate through it.
yeah, but it is. I mean, not all of the keys are incremental. You may have a lot of keys in your database, but their numbers are not close to each other. So you just want to um, have some kind of facilities so you can iterate through all of the keys that already exist in the database.
Yeah, so I think what you want is another key index, and this is sort of could be done itself on the application layer. It doesn't need to be done on the protocol layer. This is my reading of it, but if you strongly feel for it, then maybe you can bring in some EL client dev and get the PR reviewed, I guess. I think Sina is already there, and I'm not sure. I think he has also raised a similar query or a question. But yeah, I think let's coordinate on this async and see if this is something that we want to address on the EL client.
Okay, cool. I will continue discussion with others on this, and maybe we can have it later.
Sounds good. We can move on to 9354.
Yeah, so this CIP is yet to be correctly formatted. So we'll come back to it when this has been done by the author and all the linter issues have been addressed by the author.
Sure. We have another PR. We can perhaps get to it after finishing up all on the agenda here today. So yeah, we can maybe proceed with miscellaneous. It seems like just a typo. Wasn't sure. Next, we are on 9429.
I think this would require the author of the EIP to sort of technically review it, and maybe the author of this PR should contact the author of this EIP to that.
Sure. I imagine that bot may have automatically invited the author of the proposal. No, actually, I don't see it there. Would you want to maybe make a explicit mention of like author of proposal is required here?
I think this could be primarily because this is one of the file in the assets that is being changed. So I'll look for the author of this EIP and tag that person later on.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. So we have one last for today's from the agenda. The number is 9448.
I think one more of the editors will need to approve this PR. I have approved it.
Oh, because this is website related and 2 editors approval is required here. Yep, 2 or more reviewers. Okay, sounds good. We will bring it for tomorrow's meeting and try to get the approval. 9448. That brings to the end of this agenda items, but Justin here on the call has a PR in his GitHub repository, perhaps an effort to create an EIP. If you would like to maybe take a look at it and provide quick reviews on that. The link is added to chat.
Yeah, I just had a couple of questions. It's really rough because it's really early for the EIP, but I'm doing something in here that I haven't seen done elsewhere, and I could use some advice on it. We are adding a JSON schema for the genesis.json file that's used by most clients to specify initial settings for a blockchain. And I wanted to stick the JSON schema file in the assets directory and potentially link to it from the EIP text itself and maybe have it inlined. So I don't know if that's a thing that it's Kajinder, it's not PR'd into the Ethereum repo yet. You have to use the link in the chat in Zoom if you're trying to look at it.
Yeah, I'll find the chat. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
So I have opened your draft. So is it
Yeah.
coming through, or I think it's in a different?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. So if you just go to the files change, you'll see the raw text there. Yeah, so if you scroll down, the part that I need help with is, so there's this table at the top. I might be getting rid of that, but this JSON schema right here, I just kind of cut and paste one of the versions of it into that, which is suboptimal for iterating on it. Should I stick that as its own file in the assets directory and link to it? So people just click on the link and it pops it open? Or is there a way to actually inline it and still have it broken out into a separate file?
I don't know how to embed a file, a JSON file into the main. I'll check on this. But I mean, if JSON schema isn't too long, then probably you can keep it here,
I think that's fairly close to how long
which
it's going
this
to be.
isn't. Yeah, this, I think this is fine because it is not that long and still comprehensible.
Great. Okay. Follow-up question. JSON schema allows for both description and comment fields to be included in each type. That is a potential replacement for the tables that you see above. I don't know which one is preferred. I don't know if there's precedent for it.
Again, I don't think it is really, I mean, contentious in that sense that you want to have one or the other, or you can have both, because in the end it's about the readability of the EIP, and if it helps your EIP readers to understand your EIP in a better way, I think it doesn't matter. I think it's good. It can be at both places.
Okay, thank you. That's good, because I can take that back to the other people that are going to be referring to this and ask them if they find more readable. Cool. That's all I had. Thank you for the input.
Thank you. I think we are going to get early today. For people, just we want to share that we are having this office hour almost every week on Tuesday at 1600 UTC. Sometimes we include EIPs plus ERC and sometimes it is EIPs only. The goal here is to clear the number of open pull requests. So if you have any question, if you have a PR in there, please reach out to us and add your PR to the agenda so we can take it up, discuss with you and try to close it or merge it as soon as possible. Well, thank you Vijay Singh for joining us here today, and people who are interested in learning more about the process, we will have an EIP IP meeting which happens only once a month, every third Wednesday at 1400 UTC. So you can join us tomorrow on May 24th.